Oh my. Good morning, sir. Are you Vincent Greg Spangler?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Spangler, you've been charged on a felony complaint alleging assault with intent to maim. There is also a criminal offense that used to exist called mayhem. But this is charged as a 10-year felony offense, alleging that on or about November 22nd, he made an assault upon Courtney Feaster with the intent to maim or disfigure by cutting or tearing off an ear.
Yeah, that's not how it went, but okay.
Don't talk about what happened.
Yeah, that's what the charge is. Now, Mr. Spangler, also present is Matea Paycheck from the Public Defender's Office and Deborah Davis from the Prosecuting Attorney's Office. So this is alleged to have occurred like I indicated in the city of Three Rivers. Mr. Feaster and you are in a relationship together, and this warrant was issued on December 13th. And this warrant has been out. How did you come to get arrested?
I turned myself in, actually. They told me to keep watch on the internet site. I'm a truck driver over the road, so as soon as I got back into town, I seen that I had an outstanding warrant, so I came and turned myself in last night. I've never been in trouble, so I had no reason not to turn myself in.
Well, that's the best way to deal with it. I appreciate that. All right. You're a truck driver for who?
Rail Transport and Corp.
Where do you drive out of?
I am out of Gary, Indiana, but I park in Marcellus.
Who owns the house on Spring Street?
Misty Losters.
Are you still living there?
No, sir. I haven't had any contact since the altercation.
You said you have no criminal history?
No, sir.
It appears that's accurate. Chief Assistant Robert was the one who reviewed and authorized this case, and it indicates that there's nothing on his criminal history.
And are you presently residing in Marcellus?
Yes, I am, when I'm not on the road.
Ms. Davis, you have any input on this?
Your Honor, it's my understanding this was an altercation with a new significant other of his prior significant other. I don't think that they have any contact or need to have contact at this point. We haven't received any information other than a call on behalf of the victim from another individual, but we don't have a victim impact statement back or anything like that. So I'd leave it to the court's discretion, obviously with a no contact in place.
You travel all over the country in your duties as a truck driver?
Usually it's the Midwest region, but sometimes they do have me go outside of my region.
South Street address, lot 6.
Yes, yep.
All right, I can't tell. It looks like kind of thing that alcohol would have been involved in. No drugs and no alcohol. Test on demand. No contact with Courtney Feaster. No firearms, no assaultive behavior. I don't know if there's any personal protection order, but if there is, you can't violate that either. These are two kind of interesting cases. The time of the offense is weeks or months prior to the arrest. In each case, the defendant turned themselves in, which means they're not much of a flight risk. The question is protection of the complainant. They're no longer in a relationship. They're not living even in the same county and do the same thing. Bond set at $500 cash or surety with conditions as noted. All right, I'm going to appoint Attorney Luke Knopfsinger. I'm going to set a pre-exam conference for January 9th. That's a Tuesday at 8:30. So don't take a run that will not have you here. You need to be here live in person on January 9th at 8:30. If a preliminary examination is needed, it will be January 16th at 1 o'clock. I can't really sort out what was going on here from the affidavit of probable cause. The police report, I'm sure, has more information that the prosecutor used to do this. Will you be able to post a $500 cash or surety bond?
No, I will not be able to.
Even through a bonding company?
300.
Excuse me?
Through a bondsman, you said?
Yes, you can do it through a bondsman.
I could do it through a bondsman, yes.
All right. That's not a very high bond for such an offense. But
okay.
Because of the facts and circumstances, that's how I'm going to charge it. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go. They've got Mr. Farrington was charged in May of 2022 with possession of methamphetamine. He was set for a pre-exam conference and Melissa Halleck was appointed as his attorney. The warrant issued sometime after that, and he got picked up in August of 2022. Public defender, Ms. Matea Paycheck, has joined us here. And he got arrested in August of 2022. By that time, he got out of jail and got arrested and went to jail in Indiana. He posted his bond and got taken to Indiana. Then the matter was adjourned because Ms. Halleck hadn't had some talk to him. We set a pre-exam conference for September 20th. The defendant failed to appear because he was in jail in, I believe, Noble County, Indiana.
I was still in Range County, Your Honor.
All right. Anyway, this case has a long history. Defendant had written to me here and there, and his girlfriend called earlier. So we need to get this case back on track. But
yes,
let me ask you some questions. How did you come to be in the St. Joe County Jail today?
I got transferred up here from Noble County. I served out my remainder of my time down there, and I got here today.
So you're done there?
Yes, I am.
How long were you in Noble County?
I was in Noble County for 9 months, and previous to that, I was in LaGrange County for 6 months. Last year was not a good year for me. I made some bad decisions.
Yes. When did you last cut your hair?
It's been about 3.5 years now.
Mine will be 4 years in February.
It's a chore.
And then that's going to all fall out. All right. Now, what's your home address? Still Sturgis? Well, I'm going to set this for a pre-exam conference for January 9th. At 8:30. January 9th is a Tuesday. Preliminary examination, if needed, for January 12th, 2024 at 1. You got arrested, you bonded out, you went to jail, and then I don't think we ever saw you again. But I'm going to leave the bond where it's set.
Your Honor, I would.
Yes.
Could I have a moment to say something about bond?
Yes.
When I bonded out last year, I came to court and seen you in the courthouse, and that's when I was appointed Melissa Halleck.
Yes.
I have every intention to come to court every time. I know that last year I did make some bad decisions that prevented me from being in court, but I tried to take the necessary steps to make sure I was in court, even though I was locked up, and there was just no real way of me getting to court from another county.
I understand. You weren't supposed to go into Indiana. I don't know how you happened to get arrested in Indiana between the time
That's where I'm originally from. That's where my family lives.
You have the $100 for the bond? Okay.
Well, Mr. Farrington, I believe you're near at the end of this road.
Yes, sir.
Can't speak for the prosecutor, but you just did 15 months in jail. You're clean, your head's on straight. You actually look pretty good. But this methamphetamine charge, you forfeited a bond with a bonding company because you were in jail in the other case. I don't know if we took that money or not. That was an earlier $15,000 bond. So I want to get this resolved. Miss Halleck can make a bond motion if she wishes to. One option was to leave this until next Tuesday, till somebody even talked to you. And I said I would do it because the magistrates are not available. But so I want to get the case started again. I don't want to wait till January 2nd before you even get to see anybody. But I'm reluctant to go right down this rabbit hole again until I know more about what's going on. So Melissa Halleck is still your lawyer.
And what would my bond be set at right now then?
$15,000 cash or surety. You can post that with a bonding company.
Okay. Thank
All
you,
right.
Howard.
All right, good luck, sir. Either way, I will see you January 9th at 8:30.
Yes, you will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, you too. You look good. I don't know if anybody looks too great after doing 15 months in jail, but
Thank you.
you look healthier.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch my weight and work out a little bit.
All right, well, you're good to go. I'll see you on the 9th, either way.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon. Caitlin Marie Thomas.
Yes.
I'm Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse. Also here on the screen is Matea Paycheck from the Public Defender's Office. You got arrested today on a methamphetamine charge from earlier this fall. The allegation is that on or about October 3rd, you did possess methamphetamine in Montville Township. That's punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $15,000. Apparently you got arrested this afternoon and they asked me if I would see you because the magistrates are otherwise not available. Otherwise you'd have to wait till next Tuesday. So let me ask you a couple of questions. How did you get arrested today?
I was driving home, coming out of Constantine, and my car doesn't have insurance on it yet. I wasn't able to get it legal yet, so I got pulled over. And that's pretty much that.
And they found this open warrant?
Yeah, well, I told them I had a warrant because I already knew I had a warrant. I was gonna turn myself in, because it looks better myself if I did. But it's kind of a hard thing to do. I didn't do that yet.
Did you get a new ticket regarding the insurance?
He put everything in my wallet. He said something about a receipt he put in my wallet, but he didn't say nothing about a ticket.
All right, we'll find out. Where were you going?
Today,
Yeah.
I was going home.
Do you still live at US 12 White Pigeon?
Yeah, it's still my house.
Who else lives there?
Just my dad and my grandpa. My brother goes there occasionally, but
Where were you coming from?
I was just coming from a friend's house.
All right, are you employed?
No, I've been putting in apps though. I just tried getting a job at Ego Auto Parts to be a driver. Because I have my license and everything.
When did you last work?
I was just working at Advanced Auto Parts not that long ago, like a couple weeks ago.
Which one?
In Three Rivers.
What happened to that job?
Well, I just didn't really like it. I mean, I've worked there for a minute, but I just didn't like it. So I ended up quitting, but I've been trying to find a different job.
Are you on probation or parole?
No. I've never been to jail and I've never been in trouble before. And when I got pulled over for when they did find that, I was for sure I didn't have anything on me. I know it wasn't my stuff. It wasn't even in my bag.
All right, well, don't tell me about that. But I'm getting a methamphetamine vibe right now. And I can't tell. If I had the availability of a test, I'd test you right now. but you got pulled over for a small amount, which they sent to the crime lab and came back as methamphetamine. My guess is if I give you a methamphetamine test right now, you test positive, but I've been wrong before. So you got no criminal record, no job. You live with your father. You don't have any charges pending. It would have been better if you turned yourself in and not got a new charge. Why didn't you? You were just afraid to?
Well, I mean, I've never been to jail before, so I was planning on it because I know I'd look better on myself, you know, but I just I didn't.
Well, you didn't.
Wish I would have.
What other kinds of jobs have you had?
Well, I worked at Hallmark for a year, trailer factories, with my dad, but that was quite a while ago. I worked at a bakery in Shipshawana, the Blue Gate Bakery. I worked there for like 6 months or so. And then I had a job up in Kalamazoo doing auto detailing, but I couldn't afford getting to work and back because I had a truck and gas was too much to get there and back, so I had to quit that job.
Do you have any children?
No.
Are you 20 or 21?
I'm 20.
I've been a judge longer than you've been alive. And so St. Joe County is your home county?
Yeah.
You went to White Pigeon schools?
I actually went to school in Indiana because my grandparents had guardianship over me for most of my life. And I went to Westview at Topeka.
All right. This is a felony offense, but I'm not really inclined to leave you in jail till January 9th on a plastic straw containing white residue. This is more of a paraphernalia case than it is a drug possession case. I'm going to set the bond at $500 PR. You are not to use any drugs or alcohol. You're not old enough to drink. I suspect that if you tested today, you test positive for methamphetamine. When I see you on January 9th, I'm going to test you for methamphetamine, so keep that in mind. No weapons, no assaultive behavior. You may not leave the state of Michigan. And your pre-exam conference is set for January 9th at 8:30. And if there is a prelim, it will be January 16th. At 1 o'clock, I'm going to appoint attorney Luke Knopfsinger. I know it's charged as a 10-year felony, but the affidavit supports a straw with some residue in it, which is not a serious criminal offense. You have no criminal record. You have no job. I suspect that you're struggling with methamphetamine addiction, but that's only a speculation. So I'm going to let you out on a PR bond. You must reside with your father at 12016.
Yes.
All right, you're good to go. January 9th at 8:30. They're going to give you some paperwork with your lawyer's name on it. His name is Luke Knopfsinger. His office is in Three Rivers. I want you to call him and to make an appointment with him to discuss this with him. You're 20 years old, you're bobbing like a cork in the ocean with no real purpose, and a possible drug addiction. Let's see what we can do before you go over the waterfall. I'll see you on January 9th at 8:30.
Thank you.
Because there's no waterfall in the ocean, so maybe she's bobbing in a river or stream.
Okay.
All right.
Answer.
Of course, we've met. I just put you on probation in October or December for this same offense. The allegation is that on, what the heck? 9/22 of 23, that you assaulted Jessica Davis, your spouse, as a third or subsequent offense, making that a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $5,000. This was alleged to have occurred on September 22nd. The prosecutor did not authorize this warrant until December 13th. Allegation is that you threw a boot at her and hit her in the thigh, and you pushed her, and she got up. And they were so worried about it, they took 3 months to authorize the complaint, which is upside down. I know you and Miss Matthews, Miss Davis, from dealing with the last case, which was 22-1791. In that case, it was alleged that on August 19th of 2022, you assaulted Ms. Mathis. A year later, on October 31st of 2022. So this is a new domestic violence third offense. I believe you had completed your probation by the time, you were discharged from probation in March. Then there was a new assaultive incident in September, and you didn't get arrested until December. So in the meantime, did you and Miss Mathis get married?
Yeah, we got married about a year ago, actually. A little over a year ago.
What was your marriage date?
December 16th, I believe.
You better work on that.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. I turned myself in because I just learned about this warrant a couple of days ago when the police came to my house.
All right. Also joining us is Miss Deborah Davis from the prosecutor's office. Deborah, I'm doing the magistrate arraignments and I got like 1 minute notice. I was trying to sort all this out. I remember Mr. Davis from last year. It's the same complainant, although now they're married. It is the second time in a year he's been charged with felony domestic violence. In the last case, 2022, he pled to the domestic violence without a deferral. I put him on probation, sent him to the domestic violence treatment class, which he completed, and he was successfully discharged from the probation in March. This incident allegedly occurred in September. I'm not sure when the borough or whoever got it to you, but it didn't get authorized until December 13th. And then he indicated that he turned himself in. If you saw it, it's alleged that he pushed her and threw a boot at her.
Yes. So, Your Honor, I do have knowledge of this case because I was the one that reviewed it. It did not come in until November, and it was more of a, hey, review this and cover us by saying we reviewed it. I was not satisfied with the investigation. So I got the 911 calls, I reviewed them, spoke with the officer, and we agreed that this is a situation that needs to be dealt with through the court. And so it was authorized. I will say that the contact that we have had from the victim on November 30th, which would have been 3 days after I authorized the charge. The day that the charges get authorized on the 27th, a letter goes out to the victim. And so the victim called 3 days later, probably the same day she received it. And my notes from Ms. Countryman say, victim called today and wanted to know why she got an impact statement in the mail. I could hear the defendant in the background telling her what to say and making comments. She said he never hurt her and the boot did not hit her in the leg. She said the other things she told the officer were were from previous domestic violence incidents and not this one. I told her if she feels like her statement to the officer was not correct, then she would need to make contact with the officer to update her statement. I have not heard anything from the officer now, and it's been a month since that phone call. So
she tried, but the officer won't call her back or anything else.
Well, the officer called you and then told you to turn yourself in?
No, I was at work when the police came to my house and didn't know really anything about it. They come to my house. I understand that I more likely have warrants, so that's why I decided to turn myself in. Because I don't
Where do you work?
I want to start the new year off right, and I don't want to lose my job and all this and that.
Fair enough. Where do you work?
Cruiser RVs.
Are they on shutdown right now?
Yeah.
Till when?
Till let's see. I want to say like the 8th or the 9th. I can't really remember the date. I have to look at my phone. It's all I got it all pictures.
January 8th is a Monday.
Then that's when I'll start be back up.
All right. Have you got someplace to go if I let you out of jail?
Yeah, I could go to my mom's or my grandma's, anywhere besides where Jessica is.
Do you and Jessica have children together?
We do.
How many children?
We have 2.
Well, she apparently felt strongly enough about this back in September to call the police. The police didn't exactly rush to the finish line. They didn't give it to the prosecutors until sometime later in November.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3 months after the fact. The assault is not all that consequential. The complainant is not cooperative. And I don't want you to lose your job, but it's the second felony domestic violence, which means you've been charged with domestic violence at least 4 times. I spent quite a bit of time on the last one. You did 12 days in jail. I let you out of jail. I put you on probation and you completed the probation. So I can't tell. It doesn't indicate drugs or alcohol were involved here. Does that appear to be a factor, Deborah?
I don't know.
I don't do drugs or alcohol. Me and my wife, when we first met, we were using meth, and then we got clean, and we're so proud of that we don't want to go back to relapsing and doing, like, we're very proud of where we came from in our past to where we are now. Like, we had nothing. We were homeless, like nothing, and we came all the way from being drug addicts to having our own home, children, family.
It's a long way from Burr Oak to Cruiser RV. How do you get there every day?
I drive.
All right. No drugs and no alcohol. No contact. We're going to find out what's what here. No contact with Jessica Davis. No weapons, no assaultive behavior. Do you have a CCW permit?
No, I do not.
You may leave the state of Michigan for work. I'm going to set the bond at $500 cash or surety. I'm not going to do a PR bond on a fourth offense domestic violence, but I don't want to leave you in jail on this either. I'm going to appoint Attorney Luke Knopfsinger I'm going to set a pre-exam conference for January 9th, your second day back to work.
Okay.
And a preliminary examination for January 16th if needed. What's going to happen if you do post bond? I want you to contact the lawyer and discuss this matter with him. Ms. Davis has a familiarity with this case. It's not, frankly, very compelling, but they felt they did need court intervention.
Okay, you said my attorney's name is going to be Luke?
Luke Knopfsinger. We'll give you that paperwork. He's in Three Rivers. And you're not to go back to your house on Center Street. You're to stay with your grandmother or your mother. And you're not to have contact with Jessica. This is from way back in September. It didn't get authorized till till mid-December. And they did it with their eyes open. They put some thought into it and did some research to it. So this is part of the court intervention. You have a bond condition that you can't contact each other. So let's get a handle on this. June 9th isn't terribly far, January 9th. Perhaps the thing can be resolved by that time.
Your Honor.
Bond is, yes?
Has Community Corrections looked at this one as far as a potential for a GPS monitor?
They have not. Do you want me to order that?
I believe that if Melissa Bliss looks over it and there is the risk factors, that they would then have the grant money to order a GPS monitor so that he is prohibited from going near that home or any workplace of hers.
The problem is your mother also lives in Burr Oak, doesn't she?
Yeah.
How far away from your...
I could go to my grandma. She lives in Vandalia. That's more than almost an hour away. It's no big deal. As long as I'm just trying to get this over with so I can go back and do what I have to do for my family and my kids.
All right. Deborah, do you want that?
Yes, I would ask for that, Your Honor. Thank you.
I don't think Melissa's here today.
I believe she is.
Oh, Melissa is here. May go to Indiana for work, referred to Community Corrections. For GPS tether. All right, so they're gonna have an ankle monitor. Make sure you don't have contact with her. Go to that address. And you guys are gonna not be able to see each other for the next 14 days or so. You can go through an intermediary to see your children.
Question, with the bond, is that through a bondsman or is just me coming
It's
up with
cash or assured, so you can post it through a bondsman.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're good to- All right, thank you.